Oh my, what the fuck?
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. I hope you're enjoying your holidays. I'm here to make it better with clips that will thrill, excite, and of course, scare you even if it's just a little. Without wasting much time, let's jump right into it. This first clip is one for the extraterrestrial enthusiasts. In this footage, while the reporter is delivering a live TV broadcast by the sea, an unusual event takes place. If you pay attention to the screen just behind him, you'll notice something strange and unusual happening with the sea. On the right side, a peculiar object emerges from the water, swiftly submerges, and reappears on the opposite side. The swift and mysterious movement of the object has naturally led to many debates. Some suggest it could be evidence of alien technology or an advanced underwater craft. Is this truly a glimpse into the world of advanced technology, or is it perhaps just a natural activity beneath the waves? I guess that's something we'll not be able to say for sure. Well, it seems these fishermen stumbled upon a creature that could give anyone a pause during their routine fishing expedition. In this footage, a group of men went fishing expecting a standard day at sea, but nature had a surprise in store for them. What they pulled from the depths was no ordinary fish. Instead, they found themselves face to face with a black, flat creature sporting two menacing fangs protruding from its mouth. It's like something out of a deep-sea nightmare. The footage has since gone viral and led to many speculations and theories. While I'd love to tell you what we're dealing with here, I think it would be much more interesting to have a little comment section trivia. So folks, what do you think we're dealing with here? Is this a real species? Is it fake? Share your thoughts in the comment section. In the stillness of the night, a surveillance camera caught this extraordinary sight on a rather unsuspecting street. In the footage, we see a peculiar humanoid creature, plump and mysterious, emerging from the shadows. With an almost mischievous air, it crawls across the scene, displaying an unexpected ability to walk on two legs as it reaches a building adorned with a poster. For some odd reason, it tears the poster to shreds and just as nonchalantly returns to all fours and ambles away into the night. The bizarre behavior of this nighttime visitor raises questions about its motives and the supernatural touch it adds to an otherwise ordinary night. What could have prompted such a strange escapade? Before jumping to its motives, you have to ask, is this even real at all? Meet the garial crocodile. This formidable species is known for its distinctive long, thin snout and an elongated, narrow jawline with razor-sharp teeth. With its menacing appearance, the garial is specially adapted to its aquatic environment. Its name, garial, is derived from the bulbous growth on the tip of its snout, which is reminiscent of a pot or gara in Hindi. While they may look intimidating, these crocodiles are primarily fish eaters, using their streamlined bodies and powerful tails to navigate through water with precision. Encountering a garial in the wild would undoubtedly be a sight to remember, as these creatures showcase the incredible diversity and adaptations found in the animal kingdom. Imagine this strange thing happening at night, a weird person wearing a white robe walking in an empty field. For the one who sent this video in, it was no imagination at all. He watched it play out right before him. In the footage, we can see that there are no houses around, making it even more mysterious. You might wonder, why is this mysterious person here in the middle of nowhere? It gets creepier as the person disappears into the dark, leaving us with questions and a spooky image. Encounters like these in lonely places remind us that strange things can happen unexpectedly. What could this mysterious person be doing in the middle of the night? Was it a visitor from the world beyond? Someone with a secret plan? Or something we can't understand? It's hard to say, but you can't deny that not having answers makes the whole thing even more mysterious. The weirdness gets worse in our next clip. Here we have water that appears to be acting against the laws of gravity. It's moving upward as if drawn by an unseen force. Once the video went live, it left many scratching their heads. Different individuals had different ideas about what could be causing what we're seeing. Some thought it could be some kind of energy thing messing with the water, while others believed it might be a UFO playing tricks to conceal its location. But here's an interesting twist. A bunch of folks who knew about the Amazon suggested it might be a parorica. In the Amazon, parorica is when seawater meets a river, creating a special event that some describe as similar to this. Is it a parorica, though? Some Brazilians disagree, and that leaves me with just one question. Just what's happening here? This man found something strange in Nevada on Google Maps. As you zoom in, a peculiar spiral-like structure appears on the landscape, drawing you in for a closer look. After a few seconds, you discover a seemingly isolated house with a lone figure in a white robe riding a bicycle. But wait, there's some more weirdness. As you keep virtually exploring, you discover a group of people, everyone dressed in the same white robes, forming a circle around the spiral. They're all in the same mysterious and synchronized pose. The mystery deepens as you wonder what this isolated gathering is all about and what they're up to. Is it a hidden cult engaging in peculiar rituals, or does it conceal a deeper secret? Next, we have a jaw-dropping moment caught on camera. An alligator casually strolling along its path encounters an unexpected obstacle, a sturdy metal fence blocking its way. Most creatures would pause and perhaps reconsider their route, but not this resilient alligator. With an impressive display of strength, the reptile takes matters into its own hands, or rather, jaws. With a calculated effort, the reptile creates a gap just wide enough for its body to slip through. This remarkable demonstration showcases the impressive power and adaptability of the alligator in overcoming obstacles in its environment. If there's any takeaway from this video, it's don't mess with these creatures. If you've made it this far, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already. It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode.
Just here a second ago. It was just really weird light that just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Behold the mesmerizing spectacle witnessed over Buxton, Maine, USA in February 2023.
Oh my, what the fuck?
The footage introduces us to a celestial display that has ignited discussions about the possibility of extraterrestrial visitation. In the night sky, multiple luminous orbs grace the darkness. Their presence, unlike stars, their abundance raises questions and prompts contemplation about the mysteries that may lie beyond our earthly realm. The sheer number of these radiant orbs creates an otherworldly scene, leaving observers both intrigued and perhaps a tad apprehensive. The speculation about UFOs and the potential for an alien invasion is as exciting as it is worrying. I mean, I'd love to see aliens, but who knows what they could do to us.
Just here a second ago. It was just really weird light just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Now, this is an oddity that takes us beyond the realm of UFOs and into the mysterious world of anomalous rocks. Across different corners of the globe, particularly in Africa, peculiar rocks have been discovered, captivating the curiosity of those who encounter them. In this intriguing footage, a person places a nail on the rock and an unexpected and almost surreal event unfolds. The rock appears to bleed out a mysterious black liquid. This raises a myriad of questions concerning the nature of the rock and the unusual substance it releases. Scientifically, rocks don't typically bleed, and this phenomenon challenges our conventional understanding of geological processes. Where did this rock come from? What could be the source of the black liquid that flows out of it? Does it hold secrets that defy our current understanding of geology? Now, let's delve into the wilderness. In this intriguing trail camera footage, the serene image of a moose peacefully grazing in the woods takes an unexpected turn. The camera captures the moose going about its business. In the background, however, there is a pair of mysterious glowing eyes emerging from the shadows, fixated on the unsuspecting creature. The question that lingers in the air is, what lurks behind those luminescent orbs? The wilderness is known for its diverse inhabitants, from ordinary predators to creatures that dwell in the realms of folklore and myth. We can't help but wonder, is this a common predator like a wolf or cougar, or if it hints at the presence of something more mysterious? What do you think? Hold your breath for a moment as we unravel the mystery behind this seemingly nightmarish creature captured in the depths of the ocean. At first glance, it appears to be a creature with multiple heads, each with razor-sharp teeth. However, fear not, for the reality is far less sinister than our initial instincts might suggest. This eerie entity is, in fact, a collective of young Odontoblabus gobies. Odontoblabus gobies, also known as mudskippers, are specialized fish that are adapted to live in intertidal zones where land and water meet. They can breathe both air and water, and their pectoral fins are modified for a sort of walking movement on land. The younglings of Odontoblabus goby might have distinctive features that can appear unusual, especially if you're not familiar with them. Hold on to your sense of reality, because this footage takes us on an extraordinary journey into the depths of the bizarre. Picture this, a creature washed ashore combining the body of a fish with the unmistakable facial features of a horse. Yeah, you heard that right, a fish-horse hybrid that defies the norms of the animal kingdom. Why am I even talking like this? You can clearly see it, right? The first question that might come across your mind is whether this creature is a creation of nature or a fantastical fabrication. The body of a fish seamlessly transitions into a head adorned with a horse-like mouth and herbivorous-looking teeth. It's a spectacle that challenges our understanding of evolutionary biology. Could this be the result of a genetic experiment gone awry, a natural anomaly, or perhaps a clever work of art designed to blur the lines between reality and imagination? Slithering into the realm of urban intrigue, our next spectacle unfolds on the streets where the ordinary takes a serpentine twist. In this peculiar footage, we witness a snake engaging in a high-stakes tightrope act, well, more like a power line act. Perhaps the streets below were a tad too bustling for its liking, so it opted for an overhead highway of wires. But as fate would have it, this reptilian daredevil's grip faltered, leading to an unexpected descent to solid ground. In a moment that blends tension and surprise, the snake's grip on the wire appears to falter, leading to an unexpected descent. Poor fella now has to use the road it was desperately avoiding. Hopefully it could make lemonade of the lemons it's being dealt by life, if you know what I mean. Well, buckle up for a shockingly electrifying discovery. These intrepid explorers from Africa stumbled upon a rock that's not your run-of-the-mill geological find. As they closely examined this peculiar specimen, it became clear that there was more to it than meets the eye. First off, let's talk about its appearance. This rock, sporting a distinctive silverish hue, immediately draws attention. But as the adventurers take their investigation to the next level, they decide to connect a humble light bulb to the rock. Cue the jaw-dropping revelation. Miraculously, the light bulb springs to life, casting a glow that can only be described as electrifying. Yes, you heard it right. The rock appears to be generating electricity. Now, this is no ordinary geological occurrence. It's a rock star in the literal sense, proving that nature can surprise us with its hidden talents. I'm no rock expert or enthusiast, so before I attribute this to the supernatural, can someone explain what's happening here? We really need an explanation. Delving into the realm of social media, a TikTok user sends shockwaves through the platform with a perplexing post that leaves the online community on edge. In this eerie video, the user captures a mysterious figure traversing the darkened expanse in the distance. The creature appears to be bipedal, but it was hard to make out the rest of its features because of the darkness and its ghostly appearance. As the TikTok community delves into speculation, various theories emerge. Is it a ghost from the spirit world, a shape-shifting skinwalker hiding in the shadows, or maybe even a wendigo haunting the remote woods? The answers are still uncertain. In a follow-up post, he filmed the location during the daytime, revealing that he lives in a remote area in the woods. This means the wandering feet could be anything. What's your money on? Before we move on to the next video, just another reminder. If you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. I wouldn't want to send a Bigfoot after you. And don't forget to share with friends and family as well. Thank you very much. Back in 2022, a Facebook user from Texas took to Facebook Live when he started to hear strange noises.
Like hunt the sound down, and I can't find it. It's still like way off in that direction somewhere. You hear that?
The noises sound like screeching and screaming, then it changed to something unexplainable. The sound went on for quite a while until the man went out to go search for it. But according to him, the sound seemed to be coming from the sky. It was very loud. He also said that the whole day the weather had been strange. They had sunshine, rain, a hailstorm, and strong winds. He suspects that it had something to do with the sound, but he has nothing to prove that it actually was. What do you think this sound is?
A second ago? What the?
What do we have here? A fish with a helmet? That's what I thought. This is what is called a barreleye fish. The barreleye fish, scientifically known as Macropina microstoma, is an intriguing deep-sea creature with a unique feature. What sets it apart is the transparent, fluid-filled dome on its head acting like a helmet. This see-through shield covers its eyes, positioned within the transparent head, enabling the fish to gaze directly upward. Although first described in the 1930s, it wasn't until recent years, thanks to advanced underwater exploration technology, that researchers could capture detailed images and footage of these elusive creatures in their natural habitat. The transparent dome serves as protection for the eyes, allowing the fish to detect prey and potential threats above while adapting to the challenges of deep-sea life below. Talk about a cool adaptation. Amidst his daily hustle, a guy came across something out of the ordinary.
Y'all can't tell me that ain't no fucking UFO.
As he took a closer look, he noticed this thing was way taller than regular street poles and had a strange shaped head beaming light. Its real size became apparent to him when a plane flew by and served as a reference point. Now, this strange structure raises some interesting questions. Why is it so tall? And what's up with its unique features? Is it just a pole, or is there more to it than meets the eye? People are wondering if it's some secret communication gadget, a fancy piece of art, or maybe even something from outer space. As the light cuts through the darkness, so does our curiosity cut through the unknown, making us wonder about the secrets hiding in the corners of our everyday world. What do you think of the whole thing? In the dimly lit room, a group of friends gathered for a late-night jam session, their instruments creating a melodic ambience. Little did they know they were not the sole performers in this impromptu concert. Behind the transparent veil of the glass window, a ghostly figure emerged, silently observing the musicians with an otherworldly presence. The musicians, lost in their craft, didn't notice the ethereal spectator in the shadows. The figure's intentions or connection to the space remain unclear, leaving all who saw the footage to make speculations. Ghostly manifestations often elicit fear and fascination, but something about this entity tells me it only came for the music. Imagine playing music so good that the dead want to listen. You know what? Perhaps we should visit that band. In a quest that challenges the borders between reality and the unknown, a group of brave explorers stumbled upon what seemed to be a portal, a metaphysical gateway to the mysterious realm called the backrooms. With a map guiding them through this otherworldly terrain, their journey brought them to an unusual well, which closely resembled the one marked on the map. This finding sparked their speculation that the well could be a real connection to the back rooms, a labyrinthine dimension hidden just beyond what we can usually perceive. With a mix of fear and fascination, the explorers considered the potential use of this well as a portal that could transform them from the familiar world to the shadowy depths of the back rooms. Did they go into it, though? Well, we don't have the footage, so we can't say for sure. But indulge me, would you go down something like this if you had the information beforehand? In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, a man saw a goat walking by the forest. Why is this interesting, you ask? Well, the area is not known to have goats, which was enough to leave him shocked. Unknown to him, however, the goat was not the only shocking spectacle he would have to see that day. Standing ominously amidst the trees was a figure that sent shivers down his spine. The Grim Reaper, a spectral entity draped in a black robe with a face that resembled a skeletal visage, a classic representation of the Grim Reaper in stories. If this is indeed the Grim Reaper, then what's its reason for being there? In confusion, the man wondered if the Grim Reaper had a specific reason for appearing, and if so, who or what was the target of its supernatural visit? The man, the unsuspecting goat, or maybe something mysterious concealed within the depths of the forest? Given the fact that he lived to share this online, we can confidently say he was not the one. So, the goat? Do Grim Reapers go after animals? Share your thoughts. A man set a trail camera on his property in the woods. If you've been on this channel, you know how much of a great help trail cameras have been when it comes to capturing animals in the wild and even paranormal creatures. But this time, the camera captured something else. Soldiers. The camera actually recorded soldiers equipped with weapons moving cautiously through the wooded terrain. The soldiers' alert and vigilant demeanor suggests they may be on high alert, possibly anticipating a threat or danger. The peculiar nature of the footage leaves viewers speculating about the reasons behind the military presence in such an unexpected location. What could prompt the deployment of soldiers in a seemingly peaceful wooded area? Training, alien capture, Bigfoot, or am I simply losing it? Have you ever wondered why certain places in the world are always frozen in ice? Well, if you haven't, we have on your behalf, and we think it's a good thing. This next clip proves our point. In 2014, a concerning discovery was made in Siberia as scientists identified a potentially harmful virus in the thawing permafrost. This raised alarms about the consequences of melting ice in polar regions. The theory suggests that the icy environment has preserved various pathogens, and with climate warming, these ancient threats may be unleashed. The worry stems from the potential release of dormant pathogens, viruses, or bacteria that have been frozen for centuries. The impact of these ancient microbes on modern ecosystems and human health is a topic of study and concern amongst scientists. As climate change continues to thaw ice, researchers closely monitor these developments to better understand and address potential risks associated with the release of long-buried pathogens. Imagine a more dangerous pandemic than COVID-19 showing up from nowhere and making everybody sick. You know what? Stop imagining. We can't have that. Next, we have trail cam capture from an individual who seems to really have captured something bizarre. He claims it's a dogman, but let's judge that claim for ourselves. Did you see the creature he was referring to, or did the footage simply leave you confused? In the footage, we see what appears to be the outdoors with a lot of grass and some items there. Might be the backyard of someone's home, but it's hard to say. The individual recording the footage, however, is seemingly perplexed and, I dare say, even scared. He points the camera in the direction of whatever is giving him the scares, but his shaky hands make it hard to see. We slowed down the footage in an attempt to catch what the whole thing was about, and guess what we saw. There is a creature with dark fur in the slowed down footage. It stares at the man and then stares away, remaining perfectly still. It's almost as though it was trying its best to avoid being seen. Is it a dogman, though? Personally, I don't think so. It might be a man in a suit or a different kind of cryptid. What do you think? Next is another image we're trying so hard to wrap our heads around. You know what? Just take a look for yourselves. Yeah, that was apparently captured on a trail cam set up in the woods. The owner of the trail cam initially thought his friends were pranking him, but after checking with everyone, he realized they knew nothing about it. So then, what is this thing? We can't say for certain. It seems to have a human body with a head resembling some pig-like creature. Imagining such a creature brings to mind Bebop from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but this is happening in real life. Critically looking at the image once more, a part of me wants to believe that this is nothing more than a man in a mask. I know I sound like the paranormal critic today, but, well, look at it. What other explanation could there be for this? Next, we have dashcam footage from a lady who states she encountered something sinister in the woods. But don't take our word for it. Watch the video. As you observe the footage, you'll notice that visually nothing significant occurs. but pay close attention to the eerie sounds emanating from the background. Drawing from the research conducted by my team and me, if the sound does not correspond to that of an animal, it's highly probable that it possesses a paranormal nature. These sounds could potentially be attributed to either a banshee or a skinwalker, both formidable creatures known for luring humans with their piercing cries. Just as we believed we had unraveled the mystery, a team member astutely pointed out a discrepancy. The lady claimed the footage was captured by a dashcam, yet the camera appears to be moving around, which defies all expectations. If you're familiar with dashcams, you'll know that they are typically fixed in place. Just like that, we started to doubt the credibility of the footage. But what do you think? Could this be an honest mistake, or are we dealing with fake footage from someone trying to get their 5 minutes of fame? Let us know in the comments section. In this age of incessant internet sharing, we encounter a man braving the night armed with nothing but a flashlight and a camera, driven to capture a remarkable moment. What unfolds before him is a swift creature lurking behind what appears to be a white fence. As with any viral sensation, speculations abound. Some skeptics suggest it could be one of the man's mischievous friends dressed up as a creature aiming to play a prank. However, the comments section is a realm of unbridled imagination, where theories take flight. Some propose that this enigmatic being could be the notorious Dogman or even a throwback to a creature from a classic Scooby-Doo movie. But let's pause and reflect. Should we believe everything we encounter online? Could this be yet another instance of cryptids, creatures existing on the fringes of our knowledge? Or perhaps, dear reader, you have ventured beyond the realms of us mere mortals, ready to embark on a daring adventure to unveil the true nature of this mysterious creature. Yet, let us not dismiss the possibility that this might be an intricately crafted ruse, an elaborate hoax designed to deceive and captivate. But what do you personally think? Did you catch the deer running past the trail cam? Did you notice anything else? Take another look at the footage. You saw it, didn't you? There was a floating orb just above the deer. It moved with the same speed as the doe and in the same direction, almost as though it was chasing it. While some might dismiss the orb as a camera artifact, our longtime subscribers know that orbs often indicate supernatural activity. The sender of this clip believes it's a ghost. I do see the moving object, but I'm not inclined to make the ghostly association with this particular clip. What about you? Still on canine creatures, we move to southern Texas for our next clip. Have a look. The creature you see on your screen was captured by a couple while they were out exploring the woods. While we're unsure of how they managed to catch it, one thing is certain. When they captured the creature, they found it far from normal looking. They compared it to all the local species of small animals in the neighborhood, but the creature was just too different from all of them. Even the local dogs in the area. Being believers in the paranormal, they started to believe that they may have actually caught the legendary Chupacabra. As we watch the footage, it's easy to see why they might have thought that. The creature looks like a mangy dog, and many descriptions of the Chupacabra mention a hairless canine creature that drinks blood and fluids from its animal victims. While the animal fits the bill, it does seem a bit small for that description. Beyond that, it doesn't look like that thing consumes blood, as it was being fed powdery feed, which I'm pretty sure it consumed. But if it's not a Chupacabra, what then is it? Or am I the one being too bad a skeptic? Share your thoughts in the comments section. For our next footage, we travel back in time to 2001. The following footage was captured at a youth camp located in the Marble Mountains, an area renowned for numerous Bigfoot sightings. During their stay at the campsite, the group stumbled upon a cave constructed from substantial tree branches and leaves. Intriguingly, the trees surrounding the area bore prominent claw marks. While exploring the vicinity, their attention was drawn to a creature descending from the distant mountain ridge. If the creature was human, it would be hard to spot from that distance, but this one was very visible. This left the campers believing that it had to be very big and tall. Considering the region's well-established reputation for Bigfoot encounters, the campers reached a firm conclusion. They had indeed laid eyes on a Bigfoot. Watch this zoomed-in footage. You should see that although it's walking as humans do, it's clearly not human. I mean, pay close attention to its body proportions as well. It's also definitely much bigger and taller than a human would be. What do you think, though? For our next footage, we travel all the way to Minnesota, where a man who was on his way to fish came across a Bigfoot which left the footprints you are seeing on your screen. While in the middle of the river, casting his fishing line, he caught a glimpse of a massive creature emerging from the water and disappearing into the woods. He turned to take a good look at the beast, and behold, there stood the creature of legend staring at him, a Bigfoot. His heart raced and his hands trembled. He was sure the Bigfoot was the last thing he'd see. But something unusual happened. The creature stood, stared at him, and then ran into the woods. Just like that, the fear left him, and he went in pursuit of the creature. His curiosity had overtaken his sense of fear. He wanted evidence, something to validate what he'd just seen, but by the time he got there, the creature was far gone. The only evidence left was its footprints. The unnatural size of these tracks was enough to prove he'd met the cryptid, and many believe him. Do you? This next trail camera sends us back into the realm of the paranormal. I don't know what to make of whatever is captured in the trail cam footage. It looks like some form of humanoid cryptid, but which? It's hard to say. Its body looks like a blend of feline and human characteristics. As far as we are concerned, there's no paranormal being that suits the description. Let's take a closer look at the footage. Doing so, you quickly realize that the being looks like a 3D creation compared to the rest of the natural world. This is an obvious flaw associated with CGI creations, especially those from a few years ago. That makes it difficult to take this footage seriously. It's definitely fake, but why do something like this? For 5 minutes of fame to mislead the paranormal community? Come on, that's not very nice. Everything they say rises and falls with leadership, and looking at our next footage, I must say I believe it. In the footage, we see a pack of wolves seemingly going about their normal, everyday business when the one leading the pack suddenly stops and alerts them to danger, asking them to move. Given the fact that she stared in the direction of the camera, the uploader believes she noticed the unfamiliar artifact in their environment and doubted it was safe. See how she gets the rest of the pack to scatter and leave, with the exception of that last one who comes back to see if there was really any danger at all. I guess there's always going to be that odd, weird one, even in the animal kingdom. But we've been wondering, how did she detect the camera? Could it be because of the scent, or does the trail cam act in a way that allows wolves to detect them? Could the experienced ones help us with an explanation? We'd be reading the comments to see, as we really want to know. Next, we have this Google Maps image that may have actually captured a ghost. I know it sounds like a stretch, but take a look at this picture. Right behind the tree, you can see a pale figure peering out. Upon zooming in, the image reveals the unmistakable pale face of a young girl. Speculation suggests that the girl likely met her demise at the location years ago and returned to haunt the area, coinciding with the time when Google captured the images. Nevertheless, there are those who argue that the figure merely represents a living little girl. According to the viewpoint, the girl has tragically passed away since the picture was taken, effectively transforming her into a ghost. Alternatively, skeptics argue that the image could be the result of skillful photoshopping. But what say you? Speaking of the struggle for sustenance in the wild, take a look at this next footage. The clip starts with the glowing eyes of a coyote, which seems to be in search for a possum hiding just beneath the rock. The possum knows this too, and knows that walking into the line of sight of the coyote can spell ultimate doom for it. I can only imagine how scared the possum is and what could possibly be going through its mind. Whatever it is, we may never know, but through its actions, we see this is definitely not its first rodeo. Just as the coyote prepares to strike, the possum vanishes. However, upon closer examination of the footage, two eyes can be seen deep within the rock. Unable to see and possibly smell, the coyote moves in the wrong direction and the footage ends. A part of me wants to believe that the possum actually escaped, but then again, this is the wild. I wouldn't be surprised if the coyote ended up finding and consuming it. It's sad, yes, but that's the circle of life, in the wild at least. Next, we have this trail cam that caught something mysterious. The footage captures a small black creature moving with such carefulness that it exudes an aura of mystery. When I first viewed the footage, a part of me held on to the hope of witnessing another extraordinary paranormal creature in action. However, the truth is far from fantastical. It's actually a black panther. And by Black Panther, I don't mean Wakanda forever, even though that would be nice. I'm referring to the majestic, all-black furred big cat. In case you didn't know, black panthers are melanistic jaguars or leopards. This means that they are jaguars or leopards, which were born with darker coloring than the contemporaries. In jaguars, the gene is dominant, whereas in leopards, it's recessive. That being said, encountering a black panther is an exceptionally rare occurrence. However, for the owner, having this creature captured on the trail cam was an incredibly exciting experience. As beautiful as these creatures are, do not be deceived. They can be equally dangerous. If you ever saw one in the wild, you'd be better off staying away from it. The next trail cam footage we have is of something quite bizarre. Believe me when I say we're still trying to wrap our heads around it. Enough talk, allow me to show you instead. Take a look at this family of deer moving deep into the darkness. At first glance, the footage looks like nothing out of the ordinary, but wait a few seconds for the last deer. Right there, behind them. Do you see it? There's a deer following the herd, only it's translucent and vanishes into thin air as soon as it gets into frame. This inexplicable occurrence holds the power to challenge even the staunchest skeptics' beliefs regarding the existence of ghosts. The sudden disappearance of the deer raises questions about the supernatural and the possibility of unseen entities inhabiting our world. Such occurrences have often been associated with paranormal phenomena. If you've ever doubted the existence of ghosts, this footage is guaranteed to make you rethink your stance. But I have one question. Could the deer be a departed family member lingering on the cusp of the afterlife, or is it the embodiment of a forest spirit? So many mysteries to ponder. Either way, share your thoughts with us. A man who had set up his trail cam overnight to capture wildlife went to review the footage his cam had captured and was greeted with a capture that had humans instead of animals. Take a look. The footage starts off with two men walking into the woods, after which they are joined by a third. These men look like they mean business given how they're moving with purpose and seriousness. The flash lamps they carry in their hands give off the vibe that they may be searching for something, but what exactly? This is where it gets interesting. We don't have to wait too long for our answer because within a few minutes they return from the woods dragging along a younger male. The first question that came to mind was, are they kidnapping him? I mean, you can never be too sure of late, right? The truth, however, turns out to be less sinister than that. The young man we see in the footage got drunk and went into the woods where he got lost. These men simply went out to look for him, and fortunately, they found him. They basically saved his life, and it was captured on tape. Interesting, right? Now for our next capture, you might want to brace yourself because it doesn't look pretty. Before you ask the question, allow me to answer. Yes, that's a deer, and yes, those are growths or warts around its neck. As disturbing as the image is, that's not uncommon for deer in the wild. These growths are known as fibroma or skin tags, and they result from various factors including genetics, insect bites, parasites, and poor nutrition, among others. Despite their appearance, these growths don't pose a significant threat to the deer, although larger ones might cause discomfort for the animal. That doesn't mean to run and apply ointments if you see a deer with one. What you should do is alert local authorities. Local authorities are best equipped to provide assistance. Until then, all we can do is hope and pray that the deer receives the necessary help. Have you ever seen a bear eat? If you answered no, then perhaps you would find this capture interesting. In the image, we see a black bear standing on its hind legs, its ears turned backwards in an intriguing pose. What captures our curiosity is the red fabric tied to a tree branch swaying tantalizingly in the breeze. It becomes evident that someone with skill and knot-tying expertise secured the food to the tree. There's no way an ordinary knot could withstand the full weight of a bear. Whoever was responsible for this must have possessed scouting knowledge, as their knot-tying technique remains intact, resisting the bear's attempts to undo it. As the bear indulges in its newfound delight, crumbs of food cascade to the ground, offering a glimpse into its voracious appetite. There are no signs of the bear returning to all fours anytime soon, as it remains engrossed in its feast. As much as we would love to see a video, I guess this image will have to do for now. And remember, as cute as this footage looks, never ever approach a bear in the wild, or it might just be the last thing you do. It's the midst of winter, and this footage reveals an intriguing encounter. The footage starts with a bobcat running out of a cave. It leaves you wondering, what could make such an apex predator seemingly run for its life? A few seconds later, and we have an answer as a coyote appears from nowhere as though it was in pursuit of the bobcat. The chase continues till they are both out of frame. You don't need to be a genius to know that the crafty coyote had intended to eat the bobcat. While bobcats may be able to take on coyotes often, it seems like the one that ran out may have been a cub. Perhaps the coyote realized the routine of the parents and only appeared at the opportune time to have it as a meal while the parents were away. Alas, the coyote's efforts fall short, leaving it disappointed and perhaps with a growling stomach. The scene of the attempted hunt turns into a moment of unfulfilled hunger. This captivating encounter reminds us of the dynamic nature of the animal kingdom, where predators and prey engage in an eternal dance for survival. The resilience and resourcefulness displayed by both the bobcat and the coyote leaves us in awe of nature's intricacies and the constant struggle for sustenance in the wild. For our next one, if you have a fear of spiders or arachnophobia, you might want to skip it. Yes, you're seeing right. Those are the legs of a spider and its underbelly or thorax, if I'm not mistaken. Is the spider giant, though? As much as I'd love to say yes, it's not. It's a normal-sized spider moving on top of the trail cam. We've encountered numerous instances of this, which led me to wonder if trail cams have something that attracts spiders, but it turns out they don't. Trail cam setups can, however, become hot zones for insects, and as we know, spiders love their insects, which is likely why we often see them hanging around trail cams. But what do you think? Next, we have another bizarre capture from Lancaster County. Unlike the previous one, however, this is a video and it showcases something that looks more like a mutation than it does a cryptid. Yes, what you are seeing is very real. And yes, that's an actual deer with two noses. A park ranger discovered this unusual footage on a trail cam set up to capture local wildlife. The trail cam had been successful capturing intriguing videos, and he was anticipating more. What he didn't expect, though, was the confusion upon first sight of this footage. It was mostly because he didn't know what he was looking at. The deer's face appears oddly shaped, with 2 additional openings. It took him a while, but he soon realized that these weren't openings, they looked like additional noses. The sight was truly bizarre and marked the first time such an occurrence had been captured on video. The ranger was highly convinced he was dealing with a mutated deer, but some experts who reviewed the case believe it could have resulted from injury. What do you think? Have you ever seen a saint? Oh, wait, allow me to rephrase that. Have you ever seen a being glow in such a serene and angelic form that you can't help but believe he or she is a saint? If you haven't, consider yourself lucky because we have footage recorded by a man who encountered something glowing atop a tree. He brought out his camera to film and saw it was not a thing, but rather a person. It was a shocking sight, but it frightened him even more. After all, it seems incredibly strange for a person, let alone a woman, to approach such a location and remain completely motionless. Some religious individuals might claim that she is none other than Mary, the mother of Jesus, making an appearance on earth. In fact, some who saw the footage called it a miracle. Yet there are so many things that make it look like a well-orchestrated prank. For starters, there's no trace of the man who captured the footage. He simply uploads the video and seemingly disappears without trace. Beyond that, the woman looks like a poor attempt at making realistic CGI, making it blend weirdly with the rest of the footage. Could this be an elaborate hoax? Well, we think it is, but what do you think? Tell us in the comments section. This still was captured by a trail cam. In it, we see a huge ape-like creature moving in the direction of the trail cam. Cloaked in dark fur from head to toe, the creature emanates an air of mystery. The sheer size and presence of this mysterious being sends chills down our spine, evoking both awe and trepidation. As if its formidable size wasn't intimidating enough, the creature seems to be exhibiting signs of agitation. It exudes an aura of either provoked hostility or innate aggression. Either way, it's certainly not a creature you would love to meet during your time out in the woods. However, it's also plausible that this could be a person donning an incredibly realistic Bigfoot costume. If that's the case, it would undoubtedly rank amongst the most convincing in existence. While we don't believe it's a fabrication, even if it were, it wouldn't undermine the multitude of evidence suggesting the existence of Bigfoot and the existence of countless other extraordinary creatures in the unexplored depths of the woods. We all know that Russians are built differently, but what about their animals? Turns out they're built differently too. Watch this next one. And yes, that's a bear trying to climb a ladder. You don't need to be a genius to know that a bear is trying to climb that ladder to get to the man filming. From the footage, we can see the bear climbing up toward the man who keeps talking or vocalizing, and eventually the bear climbs back down. He's in the clear then, right? Well, no. The bear decides that if it can't climb up to the man, it would bring the man down to it. It starts pulling on the base of the ladder, most likely with hopes of pulling the man down to him. We see it attempt to pull the ladder several times, but unfortunately the video ends before we can witness the outcome. Given the fact that the video was uploaded online, I'd like to believe that the man made it out. What about you? Still on animals detecting things you wouldn't expect them to, we have this interesting trail cam footage. Watch. In the footage, we see 2 deer grazing. One of the 2, however, is jittery and keeps looking around as though it were expecting a predator or felt something that was not right. I was tempted to think it might be normal behavior. That was, at least until I noticed the translucent thing that moved across the screen right when it turned. What was that strange thing? Is it a paranormal entity? Did that deer just notice a paranormal being? Does that mean animals are capable of detecting beings beyond our plane? Or is this video cleverly edited to make it look that way? So many questions, yet no answers. Tell us, what do you think? We'd really love to know. Have you ever seen a saint? Oh, wait, allow me to rephrase that. Have you ever seen a being glow in such a serene and angelic form that you can't help but believe he or she is a saint? If you haven't, consider yourself lucky because we have footage recorded by a man who encountered something glowing atop a tree. He brought out his camera to film and saw it was not a thing, but rather a person. It was a shocking sight, but it frightened him even more. After all, it seems incredibly strange for a person, let alone a woman, to approach such a location and remain completely motionless. Some religious individuals might claim that she is none other than Mary, the mother of Jesus, making an appearance on Earth. In fact, some who saw the footage called it a miracle. Yet there are so many things that make it look like a well-orchestrated prank. For starters, there's no trace of the man who captured the footage. He simply uploads the video and seemingly disappears without trace. Beyond that, the woman looks like a poor attempt at making realistic CGI, making it blend weirdly with the rest of the footage. Could this be an elaborate hoax? Well, we think it is, but what do you think? Tell us in the comments section. This still was captured by a trail cam. In it, we see a huge ape-like creature moving in the direction of the trail cam. Cloaked in dark fur from head to toe, the creature emanates an air of mystery. The sheer size and presence of this mysterious being sends chills down our spine, evoking both awe and trepidation. As if its formidable size wasn't intimidating enough, the creature seems to be exhibiting signs of agitation. It exudes an aura of either provoked hostility or innate aggression. Either way, it's certainly not a creature you would love to meet during your time out in the woods. However, it's also plausible that this could be a person donning an incredibly realistic Bigfoot costume. If that's the case, it would undoubtedly rank amongst the most convincing in existence. While we don't believe it's a fabrication, even if it were, it wouldn't undermine the multitude of evidence suggesting the existence of Bigfoot and the existence of countless other extraordinary creatures in the unexplored depths of the woods. Next, we have this beautiful capture that brought tears to my eyes. And yes, that's an exaggeration, but the beauty of the picture isn't. Have a look. That's a beautiful doe moving through the water. Whoever placed this trail cam where it's positioned definitely knew what they were doing. It's not every day you see a beautiful capture. For those who didn't know, deers are impressive swimmers. They got great legs. Wait, did I say great? I meant strong legs with a natural buoyancy that allows them to float. Yeah, despite their skill, their body allows them to stay afloat. If they had webbed feet, we'd definitely call them water animals. Either way, that's a great capture. I have a question though. Do you think the water is splashing in the right direction, or am I simply trying to see things that aren't there? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Speaking of mysterious captures, take a look at this next one. At first glance, this looks like an ordinary image captured of the woods at night. A second look, however, and you'd notice something weird going on the left side of the screen. Do you see it? It appears to be some form of translucent creature moving within the trees. The poor quality of the image makes it hard to zoom in and discern what it is because the more you zoom in, the blurrier the image gets. We're not particularly fond of blurry images because they often invite skepticism unless the circumstances surrounding them make a strong case for their blurriness. So we throw this one at you. What do you think you were seeing? Is this whole image even real or simply a hoax meant to throw us off? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Would a bear attack a trail camera? Before you answer, watch this. While I know it looks like the bear was attacking the trail camera, what if I told you that it wasn't? If you pay attention to the video, you'd realize that the bear was going through some container until it abruptly stopped and then bolted out of the place. Putting on our Sherlock Holmes hats, we can deduce that the bear was probably going through those containers in search for food. Perhaps the containers were storing food items and the bear was simply drawn there by its scent. It might have heard people in the process and then tried to leave. Yes, keep applauding. I know I have decoded the scene, but what do you do when you live in a bear country and need to store food items outside? Well, you use a bear box. If you're wondering what that is, it's a metal container designed to store food and scented items in bear countries with the means of preventing the bears from accessing its contents and reducing the risk of human-bear conflicts. You can imagine what could have happened if the bear decided to go after the humans that disturbed it. It could have been tragic. If you're watching this video and live in a bear country and do not own one, you better pause the video, order yourself one, and then come back to it. I'm watching you. If you own one, just write "own one" in the comments section. If you ordered, just write "ordered one" in the comments section. I will be watching. Yes, you're seeing it right. A humanoid creature with a head that's a mix of a kangaroo or maybe a dog. It also appears to be going after whoever is holding the camera we see in the shot. While we've showcased weird and disturbing footage on this channel before, nothing compares to what we have in store today. Despite the uploader's silence, it's evidence from the capture that this creature gave the cameraman and crew the scare of a lifetime. Now, let's talk about the creature in question. Does it remind you of any cryptids? If you thought of the Dogman, you're on the right track. However, unlike Bigfoot and other cryptids, information about the Dogman is scarce. This makes it difficult to tell if it's truly the Dogman or some unknown kind of cryptid. There's, however, a third possibility, that the whole thing is a fake and the uploader is peddling us nothing but lies. But what do you think, though? Tell us in the comments section, as we'd really love to hear them. Did you see that? The footage was apparently taken by a trail cam in the woods. In the footage, we see a creature rummaging through the forest, diligently clearing any sticks or branches obstructing its path. A look at the creature reveals it's part human and part goat, akin to a Greek satyr. A person without knowledge of Roman mythology will call this creature Goatman, which, although a human-goat hybrid, is slightly different. But as much as we'd like to believe we're looking at a real footage, it's evident it's not. I mean, the individual didn't even try to make it real. Since when could trail cameras follow individuals around? The editing is real, and the costume is obviously not real either. The footage upset the paranormal community a lot, and for the first time, I'm upset with them. As much as we love our paranormal footage, no one loves to feel insulted by fake videos. Next, we travel to Oklahoma in 2011, where a group of boys are out in the woods having a good time. While out there in the woods, they shoot a video showing their viewers how to prepare for some of their favorite delicacies when they go out camping. 2 days later, however, someone points out something eerie in the footage. Upon close observation of the footage, you'll notice something or someone darting across the frame in the background. All who saw it believed that the creature or whatever it had fur all around and moved like a human does. Given the fact that part of Oklahoma is popular for Bigfoot sightings, all who saw it believed the boys had an encounter with Bigfoot and didn't even realize it. But what if it's not a Bigfoot? What if it's something more sinister? What if they genuinely missed an encounter with something or someone deadly and were quite fortunate to still be alive? Well, thankfully, that's something we may never have to know. While the previous footage may not have exactly scared you out of your chair, this next one might do the trick. Watch. The footage starts off with a man driving what looks like a quad bike through the woods. It turns out the trail he's on is designated for ATVs, considered safe for off-road vehicles, quad bikes, dirt bikes, and similar vehicles. But what is it, though? Well, the rider found out the hard way it was not. Suddenly, his ride was interrupted by a wire fixed at neck height. Luckily for him, he had his helmet on, and that's what made contact with the wire. Given the speed at which he was riding, it pushed his head back with great force. But what if he was not wearing a helmet? What if it had made contact with his neck? What if he was on an actual bike? Would he have survived? I don't think so. But who would set up a wire on such track? Why, and who was the target? Was it an attempt at murder or something meant to create a freak accident? I don't know about you, but if I were him, I would definitely not trust that track again or any track in that area whatsoever. Still on strange and unidentifiable creatures, this next trail cam capture will surely shock you. We travel back in time to the year 2008 in Montauk, Long Island, New York. Have a look. There's no way that creature is normal. It appears to have a beak like a bird does and a furless body with the features of that of a dog, and its size also matching that of a dog's. The uploaders stated they found this at the beach, and everyone who saw this in 2008 believed it was real. Looking at it in 2023, well, not so much. Even the flawed yet impressive AI tools of this year can generate more photorealistic images than this. I'm starting to believe the uploaders did this for clout, and boy, did they get some. Their post went everywhere, including newspapers. Did you hear about it then? What did you think about it when you heard it? Tell us in the comments section. The literal start to most horror movies is people camping out in the woods, but for some odd reason we are yet to get the memo. This group of campers were having the time of their lives in the woods, lounging around a fire when one of them decided she needed to find a place to attend. Nature's call. The rest of the camping crew stayed put, understanding the need for privacy in such situations. They even engaged in a discussion about how long was too long. Minutes had passed, and they began to get worried because she'd been gone for way too long. As they ventured out in search of their friend, an eerie cry pierced the air, sending shivers down their spines. The alarmed campers ran into the woods in search of the friend, but found something that left them all petrified. In the heart of the woods, they stumbled upon a peculiar structure resembling a hut constructed from twigs and small tree branches. As they approached for a closer look, they noticed a presence within the structure. They moved closer, and in an instant, a creature burst out of the small hut, pursuing them. Let's take a closer look, but in slow-mo. Did you see that? It's a humanoid creature with 4 arms, 2 on each side, with one stacked on top of the other, resembling what the legs of a spider would look like if they were human. This is crazy. What kind of creature could that be? Well, we can't definitely say, but it doesn't align with any of our known paranormal creature profiles. Within the paranormal community, there are individuals who suspect the entire incident might be a hoax. I mean, if they dropped the camera with the creature, how did they retrieve it? And what's with the hands looking almost rubbery, almost like a bodysuit? While these are valid questions, it could simply be us looking for a way to disprove the footage. For the first time in a long time, we find ourselves genuinely perplexed as the verdict could swing in either direction. Perhaps you could clear the air. What do you think about the whole thing? Real or fake? Tell us in the comments section. Stepping away from all the aggression, let's move on to something that's quite frankly odd and eerie looking. Caught on camera is a peculiar white and pale, ghostly-looking creature that moves slightly to its side and back to its original state. It has arms and legs resembling that of a human, but eyes as large as those you'd expect to see on an alien. Taking in all its features, it bears a haunting resemblance to the infamous Rake that at times walks on its fours, giving an illusion of a crawling figure. In a realm dominated by stories of Bigfoot, vampires, werewolves, and shapeshifters, this footage reveals something truly otherworldly. As you can see from the footage, the creature is in no way trying to hide, and many who have seen it have reported it to the authorities. Some have even reported missing on nights when it's been seen. Despite the reports and officers assigned to the case, nothing substantial has come up. It's almost as though it's only seen when it allows it to be. And for our final clip, we thought we may go out with a big bang. Have you ever come across a bison? Just look at how huge this guy is. Bison, also commonly known as buffalo, are large, powerful herbivores native to North America. They are known for their massive size, with adult males, bulls, weighing up to 2,000 pounds or more. Bison have a distinctive hump on their shoulders, a massive head with a long beard and curved horns. Their fur is dense and can vary in color from deep brown to nearly black. Bison are well adapted to cold climates and have a shaggy coat that helps them withstand harsh weather conditions. While these descriptions are impressive, what impresses me the most is their size and meat. But don't tell anyone I said that. My vegetarian friends may just have my head or force me to eat salads. Well, don't mind me, I'm just teasing. And with that, we end today's episode, and thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there popular trail cams out there you want us to look at? Please tell us in the comments section as we'll be reading. You can also send us a mail of strange and unexplainable videos that you have may recorded yourself. Just forward them to classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll upload it in our next episode and give you the credit, unless you would prefer to remain anonymous. We look forward to receiving your content. Like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share the video with friends and family. See you in the next one.